Ever since the release of the Fallout TV series, Fallout 4 has been more popular than ever since its release. So whether you're experiencing the Commonwealth for the first time or are a seasoned Fallout 4 veteran, I thought I'd make a video explaining the best build choices, dialogue options, and ending for the Brotherhood of Steel, the franchise's most iconic faction. Without further ado, let's get into the build. Even though Fallout 4 allows a bit more fluidity with the special stats than the other single-player Fallout games, I recommend raising Strength to 9, Perception to 10, Endurance to 5, and Intelligence to 9. These stats will be necessary for all the perks taken during this playthrough.
What do you think, hon? Roguishly handsome or handsomely roguish?
Once out of the vault, take the Your Special book from under Sean's crib and invest a point into Strength. I highly recommend XP farming with the shelf glitch to about level 10, because there will be a weapon acquired during this build that's only obtainable at level 25. If you think this is cheating, you will simply have to perform Radiant quests for the Brotherhood members whenever it's time to buy the weapon. After this, get the fusion cores from the Red Rocket Mole Rat Cave, the Concord Civic Access, and the Museum of History. Complete Preston Garvey's quest and take the power armor and minigun as a reward. To get enough fusion cores, go to the robotics disposal ground near Sanctuary. Activate the sentry bot and set it to self-destruct, yielding 5 fusion cores in total. Almost all of this playthrough will be done wearing the T-45 power armor until you are promoted to Knight by Elder Maxon. To get enough ammo for the minigun, I recommend going to Satellite Station Olivia, also near Sanctuary Hills. Kill no one but the raider boss Ak and let other raiders pick up her minigun. Kill only the raider currently wielding the minigun, and rinse and repeat until you run out of raiders. I only performed this trick on about 3 raiders, but if you do it in all of them, you should have thousands of 5mm rounds whenever you're finished, as the raiders spawn about 500 rounds in their inventory when they pick up the minigun. For additional money, sell all the other loot to Trashcan Carla and Trudy, and loot the pre-war money from the Lexington Bank. With the preparation done, go to Cambridge Police Station and help Paladin Danse and his squad fight off the feral ghouls.
Hey.
We appreciate the assistance, civilian. But what's your...
Pest exterminator. I heard you had a feral problem.
Evading my questions is a surefire way of getting yourself ejected from the compound. Are you from a local settlement?
Don't really have a home.
An answer that I hear often. Whether it holds truth or not remains to be seen. If I appear suspicious, it's because our mission here has been difficult. Since the moment we arrived in the Commonwealth, we've been constantly under fire. If you want to continue pitching in, we could use an extra gun on our side.
I want to help, but I don't like the secrecy. Who are you, really?
Very well. I'm Paladin Danse, Brotherhood of Steel. Over there is Scribe Halen and Knight Reese. We're on recon duty, but I'm down a man and our supplies are running low. I've been trying to send a distress call to my superiors, but the signal's too weak to reach them.
Sir, if I may...
Proceed, Halen.
I've modified the radio tower on the roof of the police station, but I'm afraid it just isn't enough. What we need is something that will boost the signal.
Our target is ArcJet Systems, and it contains the technology we need, the deep-range transmitter. We infiltrate the facility, secure the transmitter, and bring it back here. So what do you say? You willing to lend the Brotherhood of Steel a hand?
Who are the Brotherhood of Steel?
Our order seeks to understand the nature of technology, its power, its meaning to us as humans, and we fight to secure that power from those who would abuse it.
Your cause seems noble.
I'm pleased that you agree. There are very few, outside the Brotherhood, who appreciate the gravity of the situation we're facing as a species. So, what do you say? Will you help us?
No time to waste. Let's get moving.
Outstanding. You ready to move out?
Ready?
Outstanding. Follow me, and try not to lag behind.
You better get a move on. It's not a good idea to keep Paladin Danse waiting.
Accompany Danse to ArcJet Systems and pick up as many fusion cells as possible from the synth enemies. Since this is a big guns build, you may also want to pick up the junk jet. It's not a great weapon, but it could come in handy if you don't want to waste the more valuable ammo on weaker enemies. As reward for clearing out ArcJet, Danse will give you Righteous Authority, which will be our go-to laser rifle for the rest of the game.
Paladin.
Well, that could have gone smoother, but mission accomplished.
I thought we worked well as a team.
Agreed. It's a refreshing change to work with a civilian who can follow orders properly. That being said, I believe we have two important matters to discuss. First and foremost, if you'll hand me the deep-range transmitter, I'd like to compensate you for your assistance during this operation. I think you'll find this weapon useful. It's my own personal modification of the standard Brotherhood laser rifle. May it serve you well in battle.
Thank you.
You're welcome, civilian. Now, as far as the second matter goes, I wanted to make you a proposal. We had a lot thrown at us back there. Our op could have ended in disaster, but you kept your cool and handled it like a soldier. There's no doubt in my mind that you've got what it takes. The way I see it, you've got a choice. You could spend the rest of your life wandering from place to place, trading an extra hand for a meager reward. Or, you could join the Brotherhood of Steel and make your mark on the world. So, what do you say?
I'd be honored to join.
That's what I wanted to hear. Meet me back at the police station, and we'll discuss the details. Halen, Reese, it's time to welcome our newest recruit to the recon team. He shows a lot of promise, and with the proper guidance, I think he has the potential of becoming one of the best.
Thanks. I promise not to let you down.
You don't have to prove anything else to me. Getting that transmitter was enough.
So you decided to stay, huh? I expected you to take your payment and run.
I got tired of wandering alone.
Too bad. I was getting used to the thought of you leaving.
Reese, that's enough. Like it or not, you're going to have to learn to work together. And you need to understand what it means to be a part of the Brotherhood. We're not soldiers of fortune. We're an army, and we've dedicated our lives to uphold a strict code of ethics. If you intend to stay within our ranks, you need to obey our tenets without question.
Understood.
Outstanding. Since I know you're eager to get started, I'll get right to the point. I only ask for two things from anyone under my command: honesty and respect. You fall in line, you stay in line. I give you an order, and you follow it. It's as simple as that. Now, before I release you to Halen and Reese for your assignments, there's one last order of business. From this moment forward, I'm granting you the rank of Initiate. This is only a training rank. I'm not permitted to grant ranks any higher than that.
Thank you.
Thanks aren't necessary. Just continue excelling at your duties, soldier.
Ad Victoriam, Initiate.
He doesn't even know what that means, Halen.
Ad Victoriam means to victory. In our eyes, defeat is unacceptable, because we're fighting for the future of mankind. Our rallying cry is more powerful than any weapon you could ever carry. Remember that. Now, I need you to report to Halen or Reese for your next assignment. Dismissed, soldier.
For the quest Semper Invicta, I recommend taking the Radiant quest from Knight Reese, as its objective is right next to the police station. After this, Danse will give you the quest The Lost Patrol.
Welcome back. I've got another mission for you, if you're ready.
Ready?
Outstanding. Over the years, the Brotherhood has sent several recon teams to the Commonwealth. The last squad went in 3 years ago. They never reported back. Officially, they're missing, presumed dead.
And you want me to find out what happened to them?
Correct. We owe them that much. Their insertion point was in the hills near Malden. Survey the area and establish a search pattern. Monitor your radio for distress signals. All recon teams are issued distress pulsars that put out a short-range homing beacon. If you can acquire a signal, you should be able to trace it to its source.
Before undertaking this quest, I recommend going to Fen Street Sewer near Diamond City and taking the flamer from the room you fight the glowing one in. In Diamond City, upgrade the flamer to a napalmer. Buy flamer fuel and enough whiskey and mentats to make 4 grape mentats. If you don't have enough hub flowers, you can harvest plenty east of Sanctuary Hills. Also, talk to Ellie to get the quest Unlikely Valentine. Go to the locations the quest The Lost Patrol points you to and simply collect all the holotags and holotapes from the fallen Brotherhood soldiers. I ran into difficulty at the satellite array where I opted to sneak past the super mutants rather than engage them directly. You can also get a Brotherhood uniform if you wish to have it for role-playing purposes.
You're back. Any word on the patrol?
The recon team was ambushed. They scuttled their own power armor to keep it from being captured. There were only 3 survivors.
What a loss. But They did what they had to do. Our technology must be protected, no matter the cost. What else?
Their camp was overrun by ghouls. Knight Aslan died defending it.
Aslan. She was in my company once. Best marksman I ever saw. Damn it. Anything else?
They tried to reach a satellite array, but Scribe Ferris was killed in the attempt.
Trying to call for backup. Just like us. There's more.
One of their holotapes mentioned a holdout bunker. Paladin Danse may have retreated there.
I know the one. It was part of my mission brief. Proceed, but remain vigilant. Who knows what may be waiting for you there.
With all holotags and holotapes collected, go to Paladin Danse's hideout and convince him to rejoin the Brotherhood. Use a Great Mentat and a quick save to bypass a difficult charisma check.
Freeze! One more step and I'll blow your damn head off! Who are you? Who sent you? How did you get in here?
Easy, Paladin. I'm with the Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood? No, it can't be. They aren't here. They're too far away. They left me all alone. What do you want? How did you find me?
You're Paladin Danse?
I asked you a question. Why are you here? Why are you here?
I followed the distress beacons left by your team. Their holotapes led me here.
The others? What happened to them?
They're dead, Paladin. I recovered their tags.
You did? Thank you. This really means a lot to me. I tried to go back for them, you know. There was nothing I could do, not alone, but I'd hoped. You've been through a lot to find me. I should give you something. I've collected a lot over the years. Technology, odds and ends. If you see anything you want, take it.
The Brotherhood needs you, Paladin. It's time you reported in.
I can't. It's been too long. I wouldn't be of any use.
No one knows the Commonwealth better than you.
I've been here too long. I'm not myself. Would they still take me?
The Brotherhood will honor the memory of your team. Shouldn't you be the one to tell their story?
Unless I go back, their sacrifices, everything we went through, it'll be forgotten. I can't let that happen. I'll do it. For them. All right, I'll get my things together. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
You're back. Any word on the patrol?
I've completed my investigation into the missing recon team. Paladin Danse was the only survivor.
I should have known. Old Codger could live through anything.
I convinced him to return to the Brotherhood.
Well done. It might be some time before he's fit for duty again, but we can use all the help we can get. Is there anything else we need to discuss?
Do you want their holotapes?
Yes, I'll take them. If we make it back, I'll see that the tapes are delivered to their next of kin.
That's all.
All right. I'll prepare a full report based on your investigation. If we make it back, I'll see that the Brotherhood honors their memory. Under the circumstances, there's not much I can offer you for your service. I hope some caps will suffice. This was no easy mission. You've earned my respect, Initiate. Well done.
Next, go to Vault 114 and free Nick Valentine to progress the main quest. Before you rejoin him in Diamond City, go to Sanctuary and give a chem to Mama Murphy for her to reveal where you can find the keys to Kellogg's home. Sure enough, whenever Kellogg becomes a primary suspect of your spouse's murder and Sean's kidnapping, the keys will be on a seat under Kellogg's house. To avoid wasting ammo in combat, I suggest immediately traveling to Fort Hagen from Sanctuary after Dogmeat is summoned, provided you aren't playing on survival difficulty. Fort Hagen contains tons of fusion cores, and you can pick up all the fusion cells you'll ever need from the hostile synths. The easiest method to kill Kellogg is to pop a psychojet and take him down with a napalmer. After you exit Fort Hagen, the Brotherhood's airship finally arrives in the Commonwealth. Go to Cambridge Police Station and travel with Paladin Danse to the Prydwen by Vertibird, where Elder Maxon will promote you tonight, and you can equip your standard issue T-60 power armor.
Paladin Danse.
Clean the Mirelurk
Cavalry's
scat
arrived.
off my boots.
And it looks like they sent in the big guns.
Why did the Brotherhood send it here?
We call our ship the Prydwen. She's loaded with enough troops and supplies to mount a major offensive. If she's here, Elder Maxon's here. And that means we're going to war.
Who's Elder Maxon?
Maxon is the commander of this division of the Brotherhood of Steel. He's the model of what every Brotherhood soldier hopes to become. If we're going to war, I can promise you that he'll be leading the charge. That being said, you're about to get to know the prydwen up close and personal. I've received orders that we're both to report to her immediately. Follow me up to the roof of the police station. We're going for a little ride.
That minigun in front of you is loaded and ready to fire. If you spot anything hostile during the flight, I suggest you put it to good use. Make sure you properly identify your targets before you start shooting. We don't want to have any mishaps and fire on the local.
So, you're the one Paladin Danse has taken under his wing. You don't look much like a soldier to me.
Looks can be deceiving.
Which is precisely why I personally insist on scrutinizing every recruit who boards this vessel. I've read Paladin Danse's reports. He seems to think you'll make a fine addition to the Brotherhood. You might expect an endorsement like that to grant you a great deal of latitude with us. But let me make one thing clear. The Brotherhood of Steel has traveled to the Commonwealth with a specific goal in mind. As the captain of this vessel, I won't allow anyone to jeopardize our mission, no matter how valuable they think they are. Understood?
Absolutely.
Good. That's all for now, soldier. Your orders are to proceed to the command deck for the address. After which, Elder Maxon wishes to have a word with you. If you have any questions, ask me now. Otherwise, you're dismissed.
I don't have any questions.
Then I suggest you head over to the command deck immediately. Dismissed, Initiate.
Brothers and sisters, the road behind has been long and fraught with difficulty. Each and every one of you has surpassed my expectations by rapidly facilitating our arrival in the Commonwealth. You have accomplished this amazing feat without a hint of purpose or direction. And most impressively, without question. Now that the ship is in position, it is time to reveal our purpose. And beneath the Commonwealth, there is a cancer, known as the Institute. A malignant growth that needs to be cut before it infects the surface. They are experimenting with dangerous technologies that could prove to be the world's undoing for the second time in recent history. The Institute scientists have created a weapon that transcends the destructive nature of the atom bomb. They call their creation the Synth. A robotic abomination of technology that is free-thinking and masquerades as a human being. This notion that a machine could be granted free will is not only offensive, but horribly dangerous. And like the atom, if it isn't harnessed properly, it has the potential of rendering us extinct as a species. I am not prepared to allow the Institute to continue this line of experimentation. Therefore, the Institute and their synths are considered enemies of the Brotherhood of Steel, and should be dealt with swiftly and mercilessly. This campaign will be costly, and many lives will be lost. But in the end, we will be saving humankind from its worst enemy. Itself. Ad Victoriam!
Ad Victoriam!
Ad Victoriam!
I care about them,
you know. The people of the Commonwealth.
I can see that. They're playing with fire and we need to save them.
Exactly. I just hope we're here in time. I refuse to allow the mistakes of the past to be repeated.
Don't worry. I'm convinced.
Paladin Danse's reports were quite clear regarding your feelings toward the Brotherhood. And he concludes that you'd be an asset to us. Seeing as he's one of my most respected field officers, you couldn't get a better recommendation. Therefore, from this moment forward, I'm granting you the rank of Knight. And, befitting your title, we're granting you a suit of power armor to protect you on the field of battle. Wear it with pride.
I'll do my best to live up to it.
I'm certain that you will. In any event, once you're finished becoming familiar with the prydwen and my staff, report to the flight deck for your new orders. Welcome aboard the prydwen, soldier. Make us proud.
Paladin
Got
Danse.
a lot of work
There you
ahead of
are.
us, brother.
How did it go with Elder Maxon?
I was very impressed with him. He seems to know what's best for everyone.
Exactly. Without his determination, we'd be lost. I just hope you appreciate how much of a chance I'm taking bringing you into the fold this quickly. Not to put too fine a point on it, but if you screw up, we go down together.
I won't let you down, Danse. I promise.
Good. Now, I know you're eager to hop into a suit of power armor and take the fight to the Institute. But first things first. In order to be an effective part of the team, you need to learn your way around this ship and get to know its crew. Since I've been officially assigned to you as your sponsor, I'd recommend taking me along with you.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Outstanding.
Well now, wondered when I'd see you again.
Welcome back, Paladin. Welcome home.
Glad to hear someone say that. Now, listen, I didn't have a chance to thank you properly before. I'm not sure I still have a place here. I've been away for too long. Maybe I'm not cut out for the Brotherhood anymore. But I'll give it time. I owe it to you and to my team. Thank you for giving me another chance.
There's no time to waste. There's work to be done.
After recruiting Danse and meeting all the proctors, buy all the equipment you need from Tegan and meet Maxon for your next assignment.
Sir.
Now that you've familiarized yourself with the prydwen's crew, are you ready for your next assignment, brother?
Yes, Elder.
Good. Let's get right to it then. Shall we? Take a look over there. That's Fort Strong. And it's infested with super mutants. Having those aberrations of nature close enough to smell is making me sick to my stomach. To make matters worse, they're sitting on top of a massive stockpile of Fat Man shells we could use in our campaign. I want you to head over there, wipe out everything that moves, and secure that stockpile. Understood?
Consider it done.
Look, I realize you're eager to take the fight to the Institute, but it'll have to wait. The Brotherhood cannot allow those abominations to have a nuclear arsenal at their fingertips.
It'll be a pleasure to exterminate that mutant filth.
Now, we have a vertibird on standby, fully armed and ready to depart. Use it to carry our message to Fort Strong, and wipe those dirty mutants from the face of the earth. Dismissed.
Use the Vertibird's minigun to kill the super mutants on the exterior of Fort Strong. Then head in with Danse to secure the mini-nuke stash. Danse automatically leaves your party once the mission is completed, so either re-recruit him immediately in Fort Strong, or travel to the prydwen and rest for a few days until he appears in the mess hall.
Look at this place. You must hate these mutants as much as I do.
I was just doing what Elder Maxon asked. No more, no less.
Well, it's good to see you dealt with them the Brotherhood way. These monstrosities are just another example of man blindly taking a step forward, only to wind up stumbling 2 steps back. I've been fighting for years, trying to put a stop to this madness. And just when I thought we were getting the upper hand, along come the synths. I've seen what these super mutants do to people. Can you imagine what the synths would do to us if they ever got the upper hand? It would be Armageddon repeated, and maybe the end of everything that we hold dear. Look, I don't mean to bore you with my rhetoric. I just want you to understand how important these missions are.
Don't apologize. It reminds me why I'm doing this.
Thank you, brother. It's good to know you're taking my advice to heart. Anyway, that's enough of that. What's important here is that you got the job done and secured these warheads. You should head back up to the prydwen and talk to Maxon. I'm sure he'll want to debrief you as soon as possible. Dismissed.
Outstanding work at Fort Strong, soldier.
It was an honor fighting for the Brotherhood.
I'm glad you feel that way, because our mission here has only just begun. In order to bring the Institute to its knees, we need to use every weapon at our disposal. I try to supply my soldiers with the best. That's why I'm giving you these. Signal grenades can call a vertibird to your location when you need aerial transport.
Thank you, Elder. I'll make good use of them.
I expect that you will. Now, I'm sure you're aware that Fort Strong was simply the first step towards the liberation of the Commonwealth. An even greater task lies ahead. By now, I'm sure you've deduced that our arrival in the Commonwealth wasn't coincidental.
We're here because of a unique energy reading recorded by Paladin Danse's recon team. According to our scribes, the reading indicated a level of technology that only the Institute could achieve. The moment this information came to light, our mission became clear. The Institute, and everyone responsible for the creation of the synths, must be eliminated at all costs. To accomplish this goal, we need to locate the Institute's headquarters. I've had our scribes meticulously searching the Commonwealth, but they've come up empty-handed.
Anything you need, Elder. You just say the word.
I want you to get out there and become our eyes and ears on the ground. You seem to have a vested interest in locating the Institute before we met, so I'm confident you'll travel in the right circles. If you discover a way in, I need you to report it to me immediately. Any questions, Knight?
Any suggestions where I should look next?
All I can suggest is that you keep your eyes and ears open, Knight. We have every available scribe working on a way into the Institute. It's only a matter of time before a method presents itself.
Get the quest Duty or Dishonor by talking to Lancer Captain Kels.
Hold up, Knight. Let me make one thing clear. As a member of the Brotherhood, you serve under my command. If you want my respect, you will have to earn it. When I give you a mission, I expect results. Is that clear?
Perfectly.
Good. I've received reports that supplies have been disappearing from our supply depot at the airport. I suspect this may be an inside job.
If so, that's a serious security risk.
That's what worries me. If there is a traitor, our entire operation here could be in jeopardy. I want you to take charge of this investigation. Report to Knight Sergeant Gavel at the base. He commands our logistics division. He can familiarize you with his unit and the depot. Beyond that, you have leave to conduct your investigation as you see fit. Report your findings directly to me. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
I expect results. See that I get them. Dismissed.
After questioning Knight Sergeant Gavel, exhaust all dialogue options with Knight Lucia and initiate Clark. Break into Clark's and Lucia's footlockers to find evidence of criminal behavior and question Lucia again. Clark's shift will end immediately and you can shadow him to the Boston Airport ruins. Ask Danse to stay behind as you head deeper into the ruins. At this point I had pretty much run out of ammo and caps and had to take down the ferals with my power armor's bare fists, which luckily wasn't completely unmanageable. When confronting Clark, take another grape mentat and tell him you don't know what to do about the ghouls. Then convince him to turn himself in and report back to Captain Kels to obtain a legendary T-60C torso armor piece. Wear it with pride.
I've just received word from Sergeant Gavel. Initiate Clark has made a full confession. I gather we have you to thank for it. Clark has been taken into custody, and I've dispatched a patrol team to secure the ruins. I don't think I could have asked for a better outcome. I have some caps for your service. Also, I'd like you to have a piece of armor from my personal collection. Wear it well, Knight.
If you have a moment, there's something I'd like to discuss with you.
Of course. What's on your mind?
Thank you. This isn't a formal meeting. I simply want to clear the air. I think we may have gotten off on the wrong foot when we first met, and I feel like I owe you an apology. Expecting you to embrace the standards of the Brotherhood without having a history with us was unfair. And given that you've adjusted so well to our beliefs, I don't think I needed to push so hard.
That's very kind. Thank you.
Well, you deserve it. When I was an initiate, my sponsor was Paladin Krieg, toughest squad leader I ever served with. He was a model soldier, embodying the values every trainee was striving to achieve. Fiercely loyal, secure in his beliefs, and brave to a fault. From the moment I was assigned to his squad, I was singled out. It felt like he was pushing me harder than the rest of the team. I fought by his side for years, and we had some seriously close calls. But he never explained to me why I was treated that way.
It sounds like he was trying to motivate you.
If he was, I never got a chance to ask. After I was promoted to Paladin, and I'd moved on to my own squad, I received word that Krieg was killed at Adams Air Force Base. The news was like being kicked in the stomach. I mean, I'd lost some of my brothers and sisters before, but his death, well, it really got to me. It's taken me a long time to realize it. But the reason Krieg was so tough on me is the same reason I'm so tough on you. It's because I believe in you. and I don't want to see any of your potential go to waste.
I'm flattered that you have so much faith in me.
You've earned that faith by your own hand. Well, I've said what I had to say, and I hope that it meant something to you. I trust you'll keep this in confidence, of course. Some of that information was of a personal nature, and, well, I'd like to keep it that way.
Once again, we have to progress in the game's main quest before Maxon has any new assignments for us. Talk to Nick Valentine and go to the memory den in Good Neighbor to tap into Kellogg's memories and discover the Institute's use of teleportation. Breaching the glowing sea to find Virgil shouldn't be difficult with power armor, but I would still be careful with the rat scorpions. Nevertheless, Virgil directs us to kill a Courser, which will be at the top of Green Tech Genetics. The gunner enemies fought in this sequence are also a good source of fusion cells and missiles, the latter of which will be useful in the late game. After killing the Courser, execute the unarmed gunners as well as the synth. No witnesses and no abominations left alive.
Would it be possible to speak off the record for a moment?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Thank you. This is difficult for me to say, so I hope you'll bear with me as I try to get through it. When you were first placed under my sponsorship, I had some serious reservations about it. Despite all that, this has turned out to be a rewarding experience for both of us. At this point, honestly, I don't feel like there's anything else I could teach you about being a Brotherhood soldier that you don't already know. It's apparent from your attitude and your actions that you intend to keep those ideals close to your heart.
You're beating around the bush. Is there something you're trying to tell me?
Is it that obvious? I've never been very good at these things. Let me start at the beginning. I grew up alone in the capital wasteland. Spent most of my childhood picking through the ruins and selling scrap. When I was a bit older and had a few caps to my name, I moved into Rivet City and opened a junk stand. While I was there, I met a guy named Cutler. We got along pretty well. Watched each other's backs and kept each other out of trouble. When the Brotherhood came through on a recruiting run, we felt like it was a way out of our nowhere lives. So we joined up.
I have a hard time picturing you as anything but a soldier.
Clearly, I was ignoring my calling. Anyway, about a year after we were posted to the Prydwen, Cutler vanished on a scouting op. It took some convincing, but I was able to persuade my CO to let me assemble a squad and search for him. It took almost 3 weeks, but we tracked his team down to a super mutant hive. Those wretched abominations had slaughtered everyone but Cutler. He should have been so lucky. The mutant bastards used their FEV to change him into one of their own kind. He wasn't Cutler anymore. I had to... It was my duty to put him down.
You did the right thing.
It's what I was taught. I don't know if it was right. Ever since Cutler died, I've seen other soldiers come and go. Some were brave, some were honest. Hell, some were even downright heroic. But I'd never consider any of them to be a good friend. A friend like Cutler was. Until now. It's a good feeling, but it frightens me all the same. Having a bond with someone, then losing them. It changes you. I don't want to go through that again.
I can't make any promises.
I realize that. I just thought you deserved to know how I felt. If you feel that I've overstepped my bounds, I completely understand. Whatever the case may be, I appreciate the fact that you took the time to listen.
Whenever Virgil directs you to the railroad, go to Old North Church. Reject giving the Courser chip to Desdemona, as no one but the Brotherhood can be trusted with such technology, and exterminate them so you can use Tinker Tom's decryption algorithm yourself to decode the chip. Agree to find the FEV cure for Virgil, as such technology, if proven to work, would be instrumental to the Brotherhood's goals in the Commonwealth. Choose the Brotherhood to help you build the teleporter relay.
By now, I'm sure you've deduced that our arrival in the Commonwealth wasn't coincidental. We're here because of a unique energy reading recorded by Paladin according to our scribes. The moment that's in the Institute. To accomplish, I've had our scribes meticulous. The only logical... That's where we need your help.
Can you take a look at these schematics? A scientist named Virgil said they could get me inside the Institute.
I believe you'd be better served showing these plans to Proctor Ingram. That being said, I'm pleased that you've chosen to build the device with the Brotherhood. Now, indulge me for a moment by satisfying my curiosity. Tell me why you're so eager to get into the Institute.
I want to help the Brotherhood stop the Institute. It's the only way to ensure the safety of the Commonwealth.
Indeed. The technology the Institute has at their disposal is frightening at best. They've already done immeasurable damage to the Commonwealth. Together, we'll make them pay for their crimes. I'll call ahead and brief Proctor Ingram. Report to the airport, and get to work on your project right away.
This is also a good time to buy a Gatling laser from Proctor Tegan and upgrade it to have a boosted capacitor. If you don't have enough caps, I would also like to mention that just like in any playthrough, it's smart to build as many industrial water purifiers in the river outside of Sanctuary as possible, and sell the purified water to rake in the caps. With your own fief and peasants, you can truly feel like a knight.
Elder.
Remarkable work, Knight. The signal interceptor appears to be complete. Are you ready to put it to the test?
Absolutely. I'm ready to go.
Your confidence is an inspiration to us all. That being said, this is the first time we've attempted to directly adapt Institute technology. When we throw that switch, we don't know exactly what's gonna happen. God willing, you'll end up inside the Institute, and the mission can continue.
What are the details of my mission?
I'm glad you asked. Now, I want you to listen very carefully. Once you've entered the Institute, we expect to lose contact, so it's imperative you remember everything I'm about to tell you. About 10 years ago, the Brotherhood began recruiting civilian scientists from the capital wasteland to assist with various projects. During this process, we were able to obtain the services of Dr. Madison Lee, a noted mind in the field of nuclear engineering.
That's fortunate.
Yes, it was. Securing useful resources during wartime is critical. That said, Dr. Lee's contributions to our cause were instrumental in maintaining order in the capital wasteland. After some time, she developed differences with the Brotherhood and exiled herself to the Commonwealth. We're fairly certain that her intent was to make contact with the Institute.
I'm surprised that the Brotherhood let her go.
Had I been in command, I wouldn't have allowed it to happen. She was a valuable asset. Your mission is simple. Once you're inside the Institute, we want you to track down Dr. Lee's whereabouts. If you find out that she's still alive, make contact with her and convince her to return to the Brotherhood of Steel. There's a special project we're working on, and it needs her attention.
Consider it done, Elder.
Very good. Very good. Listen to me, Knight. I'm well aware that you're risking your life going into the Institute blind. Just keep your mind on the mission, and don't let anything they say sway you from your duty. Good luck.
Once inside the Institute, use Proctor Ingram's holotape on the first terminal right outside the relay room, and complete the quest institutionalized. Convince Dr. Lee to rejoin the Brotherhood and take the FEV cure from the old FEV lab inside the Bioscience Division. As per Maxon's request, don't turn the Institute hostile and play along with Father's request to meet the division heads until you are allowed to leave. Teleport to Virgil's cave and give him the cure as agreed.
What do you think about Scribe Halen?
She's as dedicated as they come. A real team player.
I couldn't agree more. But I wasn't looking for an evaluation of her performance as a scribe. I wanted to know what you thought of Halen as a person.
As a person? It's not like you to ask me something like that.
No, it's not. The truth is, I'm worried about her. Since you and I are getting along so well, I felt like I could confide in you about it, to get your honest opinion.
I appreciate that you value my opinion so highly. Tell me what's on your mind.
Let me explain everything from the beginning. A few months before you found us, one of my men was shot multiple times by raiders. Halen stayed by that knight's side for 2 days straight, without sleep, fighting to keep him alive. But he was on a slow decline. I decided that his suffering needed to end, and ordered Halen to administer an overdose of painkillers, so he could die with dignity. Even though I'm certain she wanted to continue fighting for that knight's life. She injected him without question.
She did the right thing.
Of course she did. But the decision whether or not to ease that soldier's suffering isn't the point here. The point is what happened later that same evening. Halen approached me while I was on watch. She didn't say a word, but I could tell something was wrong. After what felt like an eternity, she collapsed into my arms, crying. I didn't know what to do, so I just held her for a while. A few minutes later, she stopped, kissed me on the cheek, and simply said, "Thank you," before heading back into the police station. Right then it hit me. Maybe I pushed her too hard. I ordered her to ignore her instincts, to do something her medical training told her was wrong. That's why I'm worried about her. And for that matter, everyone under my command.
Halen will be fine. It's you that I'm worried about.
Me? I see what you're getting at. I guess I never thought of it that way. Look, 4 soldiers. Over half of my team are gone. Each one of them died because of decisions that I made. I understand the risks that come with the job. We all do. But how can anyone have confidence in me anymore? Hell, how can I have confidence in myself?
The way you held Halen tells me you care about them. And they care about you.
I never thought of it that way. Well, looks like things have taken a turn. I signed up to be your sponsor, so I teach you everything that I know. But it looks like I'm the one that needed the lesson today. All joking aside, I'm pleased that we had this discussion. And with all the problems you're facing, you still took the time to listen. It's comforting to know that I can speak to you as more than just your commanding officer.
I'm here anytime you need me, Danse.
Good. I may take you up on that someday. Anyway, thanks for letting me get that off my shoulders. I think it's been weighing on me more than I realized. I'm only sorry you had to see me at my worst, instead of at my best.
Help Proctor Ingram build Liberty Prime's electromagnetic actuators. I personally already had a high-powered magnet, but you can follow the quest marker to find one yourself. After Ingram sends you out to look for nukes and you've talked to Scribe Halen, go to the Sentinel site and jump all the way down to the bottom. Defeat Brother Henry and Adam's Wrath. Place the distress pulsar and say your goodbyes to Paladin Danse.
Excuse me, Paladin Danse?
Now that this site's been secured, you should return to the airport immediately. I'll remain on watch until the vertibirds arrive.
Is that really necessary?
Absolutely. Elder Maxon's orders were quite clear. I'm not to take my eyes off these bombs until every one of them has been counted, tested, and loaded. If we want Liberty Prime to reach peak fighting efficiency, we can't afford to lose this stockpile. Dismissed, Knight.
Sleep for 3 days and talk to Captain Kels about Virgil.
I have another assignment for you, Knight. Virgil. As long as that abomination lives, he's a threat to the Brotherhood. The time has come to deal with him.
I'll take care of it, Captain.
Thank you, Knight. Dismissed.
Check up on Virgil, who is now fully cured and turned back into a human, and tell him that you won't kill him. Back on the prydwen, pop another Great Mentat and convince Kels to spare Virgil, as his work could be tremendously useful to the Brotherhood.
Report, Knight. Have you dealt with Virgil?
Virgil is no longer a super mutant. His cure worked. He's no threat to us.
What? That thing actually found a cure? He can't be trusted. But as a human, he's trapped in the glowing sea. Maybe he can still be an asset to us. All right, we'll continue to monitor him. For now. For your service, allow me to offer you a new helm for your power armor. Wear it with pride. You've earned my respect, Knight. Not many can say that. Carry on, brother. Ad Victoriam.
Virgil also hands you a letter when asked about the cure, which you can give to Dr. Lee. Now it's time for the arguably most difficult quest in all of Fallout 4, Blind Betrayal. Use a Great Mentat before speaking to Elder Maxon so you can convince him of your innocence.
Is there anything you wish to tell me, Knight?
Not at all. I have nothing to hide.
I find that very hard to believe. Proctor Quinlan completed the decryption of the data you retrieved from the Institute. A portion of his findings included a list of synths that went missing or escaped from their underground facility. After careful analysis of the information, we've discovered something unprecedented. Paladin Danse is a perfect match for one of the synths on that list.
Is Quinlan absolutely certain?
Proctor Quinlan validated the information numerous times. I can assure you, his results are accurate. The data you brought back included a record of each subject's DNA. We keep the same information on file for all of our soldiers. Paladin Danse's DNA is a perfect match for a synth they called M797. To make matters worse, he's gone AWOL. Disappeared without a trace. His sudden absence simply reinforces our conclusion that M797 and Paladin Danse are one and the same. I'm finding it difficult to believe that he never confided in you, and then swore you to secrecy.
Had he told me, it would have been my duty to report it immediately.
Apparently I've misjudged you. which means I've decided to take you at your word. However, that doesn't absolve you of your duty. Danse is a synth. He represents everything we hate, a monstrosity of technology. Our mission in the Commonwealth is clear. The Institute and its creations need to be destroyed in order to preserve our future, which leaves me facing the most difficult order I've ever given. I'm ordering you to hunt down Danse and execute him.
I don't know what to say.
This isn't a request that requires an answer, Knight. This is a direct order. Listen, I'm not blind to the fact that Danse was your mentor, and this isn't an easy burden to bear. But if we're to remain strong, we can't afford to make exceptions. Even when it means executing one of our own. Find Proctor Quinlan. He's been analyzing the data and should be able to provide you with a starting point. And Knight, there's a promotion for you riding on the results of these orders. So don't disappoint me. You're dismissed.
After speaking to Proctor Quinlan and Scribe Halen, track down Paladin Danse and execute him as ordered by Elder Maxon, and report back to him afterward.
Only a non-human would be foolish enough to call this their home. I'm not surprised Maxon sent you. He never liked to do the dirty work himself.
He told me you're a synth, Danse. That makes you a traitor.
And he's right. But the news is just as much of a shock to me. I didn't know, I swear. Until Quinlan got that list decoded, I thought synths were the enemy. I never expected to hear that I was one of them. If it wasn't for Halen, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So, what are your orders? Does Maxon even want me alive?
Of course not. Synths are the enemy, remember?
All too well. Look, I'm not blind to the fact that we're good friends, and this must be very difficult for you. I wish Maxon had sent someone else, but that doesn't change a thing. I'm a synth, which means I need to be destroyed. If you disobey your orders, you're not only betraying Maxon, you're betraying the Brotherhood of Steel and everything it stands for. Synths can't be trusted. Machines were never meant to make their own decisions. They need to be controlled. Technology that's run amok is what brought the entire world to its knees, and humanity to the brink of extinction. I need to be the example, not the exception.
I can't tell if that's the human or the machine talking.
The fact that you're confused only strengthens my decision. I'm ready to accept the consequences of my true identity. Maxon's ordered you to execute me, and I'll be damned if I'm going to stand in your way.
If it needs to be done, then so be it.
I've never been prouder of you than I am right now, brother. It's been a pleasure serving with you.
Report, Knight. Have you handled the situation with Paladin Danse?
The traitor's been executed, Elder.
Excellent work. Of course. Dance's execution creates a missing link in our chain of command. That traitor held quite an important position with us. I'm certain that you'll make a fine replacement. His quarters and all his possessions are now yours, including his personal suit of power armor. Congratulations, Paladin. You've earned it by your own actions. Just be aware that a Brotherhood Paladin is expected to be a symbol of integrity to our brothers and sisters. I trust you won't disappoint them, or disappoint me. In any event, we still have the Institute to contend with, and a lot of work to do before we can begin our final assault. While the finishing touches are being put onto Liberty Prime, Captain Kells has identified a potential threat to our operations. Report to him immediately for your next assignment. Ad Victoriam, Paladin.
Start your career as Paladin by painting your own power armor in the Paladin's colors. Lancer Captain Kells' next assignment is concerning the Railroad and their unique Assaultron.
Ah, Paladin. Good. Now that the unfortunate matter regarding Danse has been settled, we can return to our primary mission.
I'm ready, Captain.
Good, because this mission demands your full attention. Now, before we launch our attack on the Institute, we need to address another threat, the Railroad. They're a small but capable group that uses subterfuge and guerrilla tactics to harass their enemies. Our tactical analysis says they could possibly hamper or harm our operations, which is a risk I'm not willing to take. If we strike them now, we should be able to maximize the amount of damage we do to their organization.
Then let's get to it.
Your enthusiasm is appreciated, Paladin. Destroying the railroad hinges on completely eliminating their leadership. Otherwise, they'll simply regroup somewhere else. To that end, here's a list of the 5 targets we believe would cause a catastrophic failure in their chain of command.
Consider it done.
Thank you, Paladin. Now, before you depart, Proctor Ingram has additional orders for you to complete.
Our sources tell us that the railroad has some sort of experimental or prototype robot in their headquarters. They're calling it the Predictive Analytic Machine, or PAM for short. Cute, huh? They use the robot for complex strategic calculations that are much more efficient than anything we can generate here. If you could use this holotape to decrypt the security on Pam's terminal, it will force the unit to return to the prydwen. I'm certain we could put Pam's computing power to good use. Otherwise, destroy it. We wouldn't want it to fall into the Institute's hands.
Collecting technology for you is becoming a habit, Proctor.
A habit you appreciate, I hope.
I'm certain the Paladin appreciates that the acquisition of technology is one of our most sacred tenets. When you're ready, proceed to the Old North Church and link up with our assault team. They'll provide demolition support and all the firepower you'll need to take the railroad down. Ad Victoriam, Paladin.
Luckily, we've already dealt with the railroad, so there's only a few railroad agents to deal with before heading down into the now empty headquarters and using Proctor Ingram's holotape to claim Pam for the Brotherhood.
Well, it appears that the railroad won't be a hindrance to our future operations.
Those sympathizers deserved exactly what they got.
That they did. I'm also pleased you managed to secure Pam, rather than allow it to be destroyed. We are having it brought to the prydwen, where it will be installed in Proctor Quinlan's office. It's an amazing piece of pre-war technology that should prove to be quite beneficial to us. Speaking of pre-war technology, Proctor Ingram is putting the final touches on Liberty Prime and requires your assistance. Congratulations on another successful mission, Paladin. Ad Victoriam.
However, just before crossing the point of no return with the Brotherhood of Steel's questline, I recommend traveling to the Nakano residence to help investigate Kasumi's disappearance. After finding out about the synth refuge, report back to Captain Kells about the possible synth threat.
I have a situation I need to report.
Proceed.
There's evidence that someone may be amassing a group of synths up the coast.
If that's true, it has the potential to represent a significant threat. We need confirmation, not rumors or hearsay. Can I trust that you'll follow up on this and report your findings directly to me?
How do you suggest I proceed?
Investigate these rumors. Travel north if necessary. Bring me something actionable, and I assure you the Brotherhood will deal with it.
Travel to Far Harbor, help defend the town, and ask Old Longfellow to guide you to Acadia.
I'm in the Brotherhood of Steel, and we have plenty to say about synths. How dangerous they are.
We're not dangerous. Those who've used us tried to replace humans with my kind. They're dangerous. All we want is to live in peace. On our own. See for yourself. Walk through Acadia. Talk to my people. We aren't a threat to anyone.
You can choose aggressive dialogue options with Dima, but I decided that at this point, the Paladin doesn't really know whether Kasumi is a synth or not, but since she chooses to identify as such upon speaking to her, it is decided that it is better for one possible human being to die than for many synths to escape. Report back to Kells, who will then claim to begin working on organizing an assault against Acadia.
Captain Kells, I have new information on the synth colony to the north.
Tell me everything you've learned.
There's a synth calling itself Dima, gathering followers in Acadia.
It's renamed itself? You mean it's acting autonomously? What are you going on about?
They're trying to set up some kind of permanent place for themselves, outside the Institute.
So this isn't an Institute operation? Well, that makes it even worse. I'm starting to see why you brought this to me. What else can you tell me?
They're growing in number. More More synths are being brought in regularly.
So this isn't a problem we can allow to continue. All right, I've heard enough. You were right to bring this to my attention. I'll see that the matter is raised with Elder Maxson as soon as possible. If he wants to eradicate this menace, we'll need time to refit vertibirds for extended flight. I'll get the crews to work. In the meantime, any additional intelligence you can gather will help ensure that the action we take is precise and coordinated. Do not engage these synths until we're prepared. Understood?
Buy the Honor power armor piece from Proctor Tegan and paint it in Paladin colors. Report to Ingram to complete spoils of war.
Now that you've had a chance to see the Institute firsthand, I've dispatched a courser to Libertalia. I'd like you to join him and reclaim that symbol.
You must be the courser I'm supposed to meet.
I'm glad to see you return safely. Hello, Father. Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
After everything I've been through to find you, I think you already know.
I'm sorry, Father. Of course. You're right. We also don't want the Brotherhood of Steel getting wind of the presence of the synths.
I have something urgent to report,
As
Elder.
such, they
the
are
Institute
not to
is
be
attempting
fed
to
by any
recover escaped
personnel
synths
save
from Bunker
Scribe
Hill.
Nariah
How did
and
you
her
obtain
team.
this information?
Any violation of this
Our
policy will
reconnaissance
result
hasn't
in
reported
severe
anything of the
discipline.
sort.
I received the information from the Institute itself.
And you've done the right thing by reporting this to me directly. Well done, soldier. Your report provides us with a golden opportunity to state our intentions to the Institute. I'm placing you in command of this mission. Exterminate the synths at Bunker Hill, and whomever the Institute sends to retrieve them. I'll instruct Kells to assign you the appropriate backup. Dismiss, soldier.
Watch your tone, Synth.
Next time, move faster.
Bunker Hill did not go well for us.
Report to Ingram to complete spoils of war and travel to mass fusion with her, turning the Institute hostile. After finding the beryllium agitator and making it back to ground level, stay to help your brothers and sisters in Steel fend off the attacking synths. Upon return to the prydwen, buy Death from Above from Proctor Tegan. Hopefully you remember to keep all the missiles you found so far like I told you previously. And with that, the Brotherhood main quest is almost completed, with the assault on the Institute being imminent. I will include my cut of the final quest ad Victorium, after which we will discuss the post-game steps to take, as well as the fate of the synths at Acadia and Far Harbor.
Fusion core reinitialized. All systems nominal. Weapons hot. Mission: the destruction of any and all Chinese communists. Probability of Chinese victory: impossible.
Brotherhood, salute!
Ad Victoriam! Chairman Chang will fall. China will fall. Initiating directive 7395. Destroy all communists.
Lucy?
Stand together!
You will Destroy.
The mission is proceeding as planned, Paladin. Well done. Our next target is the reactor. If anything tries to slow us down, I'm ordering you to destroy it. Man or machine. Once we reach our target, you'll need this. It's a fusion pulse charge. Attach it to the reactor, and it can be detonated remotely from a safe distance. It will be more than enough to annihilate the Institute in its entirety. Ingram, you're to remain here and teleport us out when the job is done. Get that thing working. This is the Institute? I'm disappointed. I expected something better.
Paladin, we've located the reactor. It's accessible through the Advanced Systems Division. The security override can only come from the Director's terminal.
I didn't expect to see you again.
I didn't want it to end like this, Sean. I'm not a monster.
Well done, Paladin. Looks like a path should be clear to the reactor.
Tango down.
Our mission is complete. I need you to transport us out of here immediately. Our work here is done. Dr. Ingram, it's time to teleport us out.
Sorry, Edgar, I would, but... well, this child showed up. He claims to be the Paladin's son, sir.
You're not my son.
But you can't just leave me here!
You're not Sean! You're not Sean! You're a robot. All right, Ingram. Fire it up.
Hang on. You're telling me you'd leave that kid here to die?
He's a synth, Ingram. He's not really my son.
You're clear to go then. Ready?
Dr. Ingram has assured me that we'll be outside the blast radius. Press that button, and you not only defeat our enemy, you restore order and decency to the Commonwealth. It's time, Paladin. The Institute and their synth abominations must be eradicated.
I can feel it wash over me. The heat, the force, the radiation, the fear. It's the end of the world all over again. I close my eyes. I see my life before all of this. Before the bombs. Everything can change in an instant, and the future you plan for yourself shifts, whether or not you're ready. At some point, it happens to all of us. This wasn't the world I wanted, but it was the one I found myself in. The Commonwealth. My home. Ripped apart and put back together. I hoped I could find my family, cheat time, make us whole again. The way we were.
now I know. I know I can't go back. I know the world has changed, that the road ahead will be hard. This time, I'm ready. Because I know war. War never changes.
Elder Maxon? You've done an exemplary job here, Paladin. Without your unwavering loyalty to our cause, this victory would never have been possible.
I did it for the people of the Commonwealth.
You truly have become one of us, brother. The Institute has been wiped clean from the face of our world. It's time we close this chapter on the Commonwealth and begin one anew.
What do you mean, Elder?
It means we still have a long road ahead if we're to ensure the safety of the Commonwealth and her people. But this is neither the time nor the place to discuss it. Return to the Prydwen, and we'll decide what needs to be done.
Sir.
Paladin, I'm pleased you've returned. Captain Kells and I wanted to speak with you. Captain Kells.
As I expect Elder Maxon has already explained, the destruction of the Institute is simply the first stage of our operations in the Commonwealth. There are still super mutants and ferals to be dealt with, as well as any remaining synths that escaped the blast. It's our hope that you will continue serving with the Brotherhood and assist us with eradicating these threats.
Of course, Captain.
Very good, Paladin.
In light of your service, Captain Kells and I both feel you deserve unique recognition for your contributions, both past and future. It's with great pleasure and the utmost respect that you are hereby granted the title of Sentinel. This is the highest honor a Brotherhood soldier can achieve, but we both felt strongly that it was well deserved.
In addition, we'd like to present you with this jetpack modification for your power armor. The Brotherhood has few of these devices in its possession, but we feel you've earned the right to utilize one of them. Congratulations, Sentinel. It's an honor to be serving with you.
Thank you, both. I'm really quite honored.
The honor is ours. So, Sentinel, for the first time since we've met, I have no orders for you. From this moment forward, you will decide which missions you undertake and how you will guide us. Captain Kells and the personnel at the Cambridge police station still possess numerous operations for you to undertake. Where you go from here is up to you. Ad Victoriam, Sentinel.
After the Institute's destruction and being promoted to Sentinel, buy the Sentinel's Plasmacaster as well as the Vengeance power armor piece from Proctor Tegan, and paint all of your power armor in the colors of your new rank. I highly recommend installing the jetpack mod given by Captain Kells, and for the Plasmacaster, I'd install the splitter and treat it like a high-tech shotgun of some sort. The final objective in this playthrough is to activate the Brotherhood's assault on Acadia. Back in Acadia, agree to Kasumi's request to investigate Dima and hack into Faraday's computer. Go to the nucleus, and upon being denied entry, kill Grand Zealot Richter and exterminate the rest of the Atom cultists. Make your way to the computer containing Dima's memories. After unlocking the first memory through the minigame, go to the Vim factory and dig up Captain Avery's skeleton. After this, the quest Search and Destroy will start automatically, and you will have to travel to the far west of the island to speak with Knight Captain Larson to begin the assault. I accidentally made it to Acadia and killed all the synths before Larson and his squad did, so the dialogue felt a bit out of place here.
Hey Larson. Well, that could have been worse. Are we sure that's all of them? Relax. We definitely got them all. You've seen this place and whatever the hell they were up to. I'm sure you can understand my concern. The fact that these synths, operating on their own, organized into this group and started building things. It's horrifying. Their presence here goes against everything the Brotherhood stands for. We've done the world a favor by eliminating them. We're going to retain a presence on the island, just to be sure the job is done. Pick off any stragglers coming in from the wilderness. We've done good work here. Be proud.
And that is the end for the Brotherhood of Steel playthrough for Fallout 4. Of course, there are still many repeatable quests to grind for the other members of the Brotherhood, but the Sentinel story has reached an acceptable conclusion here. Thank you for watching. I will end this video by showing all the different mods for the power armor and weapons that I chose for this build. If you like this video, don't forget to check out my other faction roleplay videos, and subscribe if you want to see more. Ad Victoriam.